Hilchos Tshuva Perek Ches Halacha Vov. Rambam begins Shema Tokel Meinecha Toiv Zu. Lest you think, make light of this goodness. The Dama She'ein Schar Mitzvahs. You think that there's no reward for mitzvahs. So let's see what the Peirush says here. How can a person can comprehend the true schar in this world? Shema Tokel Meinecha Toiv Zu. With the Dama, you'll think She'ein Schar Mitzvahs. There's no reward for mitzvahs. Since the person is complete in the ways of truth, Elo, you'll think that the schar, that it's Roy is liis oil, that he should be able to eat good food above to his noise, and he'll have concubines, will wear beautiful clothing, and live in palaces and when he'll use gold and silver cups, vessels, as we find, or things that are similar to them, and just as these foolish Arabs, that are full of zimo, think. Avnei ben Yomen says Sha'arovim shtuvim bezimo. So Kedushin. So comes Nusio the Loyal Tishna Mem not Avayim. And I guess it doesn't help all the coverings that you make. If the coverings are only an outside covering, it doesn't do anything. But the Hachomim, those who have great comprehension, understood that all these things that people think, that people assume that's what's in Gan Eden, this is nothing. And there's no reason for yearning for them. Even in this world, we don't consider it a great asset. The only reason we have this delusion is because we're physical. And all of these things are the necessities that the goof needs to eat, to drink, to procreate, to enjoy. And the soul is not so thirsting for them. And it doesn't, their desires, only for the needs that the goof has to continue to exist. So that he'll be able to accomplish that's what he wants to do and be able to understand why he's in this world. Because man changed from goof, and when after death there's no physical being, all of the aforementioned have no value to them. The greatest goodness that they will have the soul in the world to come, there is no way in this world to even grasp its greatness. Leido is saying to comprehend the chain on the because we do not have any understanding in this world of the law only for that which the guf desires, and that's what we desire. But that greatness without end, and it has no counterpart in the goodness of this world. It's only a parable. In truth, to think that it's a parallel to that which we eat and drink in this world, this is not the case, and we'll turn the page. But that goodness which is found in the world to come, it's very great, and you can't search it out, and there's no way of giving it value, and there's nothing similar to it. How great is your goodness that you have hidden, meaning hidden from him, which you created for the purpose of having your tzaddikim enjoy them. Now we come to the Rambam. And Mefarish, it's interesting, at the top here you find the Peirush, which is only found in two Svarim actually so far that we come across. That's the Yesodei HaTorah and in Hilchos Deis. And you have it here also in Tshuva a little bit. The Mefarish brings down the Rambam, and what it says Schar Tzadikim. What Schar and Oinig is it in the Nefoshes Tzadikim Gan Eden? The Ovazeh Yikor B'Torah, its main sources in the Torah. And it's found in the Divrei Seifrim. The Gan Eden is found in places in the earth. For example, in the Bereshis it says that there are 4 rivers that flow out of Gan Eden. It says in Bereshis 2:10. And then we find, and that feeds the Gan. And it says Gan Eden is under Taras Kav Ashvoya, in a place which is called Kav HaMashveh, that the day and night is equal, right? The equator. That there you have day and night equal. But it means that there are things that doubled up, because Gan Eden and these 4 rivers, the Eitz HaChaim, the tree of life, and the tree of knowledge, and the Kruvim, Lat HaCherev, everything it actually means in this world, that we have that in this world as well. And a place which is called Gan Eden, and there is an Eitz HaChaim. We can't find it in Google Maps because it's also a spiritual item which has been hidden from us. Just like those signs to understand, as we learn in Rosh Hashanah, that Rae Gann, when he wanted to check out if the witnesses who said the new moon came, he had pictures of the moon in its various stages. He would show this to the people who came. Is this what you saw? And in order to be able to declare Rosh Chodesh in its time, okay, because that is the understanding of Melachas HaKodesh HaMishkan. In 3 places. In the Mishkan house we had Chotzer, which is the courtyard, or Oil, which is the tabernacle, and within the separate area, which is Kodesh HaKadoshim. And so too, in the Beis HaMikdash, we had the Beis HaMikdash, the Azorah, and the Chotz, and the Heichel, Udvir. And there was a 4th place before you got into the actual building, which was like the sort of an anteway. No, this is Dvir is Kodesh HaKadoshim. And B'chol Asher B'chol Mokim Min in every place that we had stood in the Beis HaMikdash, and the Keruvim, which were on top of the Oren, they were all of them to understand the secrets of the upper world, and the middle world, and the bottom world. That part of the Mishkan and part of the Mikdash are made up of 3 parts, and they tell you that there's 3 spiritual levels: the upper world, the Olam HaMtzoi, and our world. And it hints at the existence of all of this. And there too, in the Mishkan, there were vessels which somehow indicate how the world exists from the upper world. So to the creatures that are in their existence and in how they look, as it says in Sefer Yetzirah, not only the Mishkan, Kedev, in other words, the Rambam is going into Kabbalah here, that everything has an upper existence as well as a lower existence. And he goes into the Siman, and the witness to this is Olam Shona V'Nefesh. World, time, and person. They are a siman and true verification on the complications of creation. that from the person's soul you can understand the world, and time, which has to do with certain parts of the body. Because Baruch Hu created also in the year, and he also gave him a mazel, as it says there. Narration was the handiwork of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he was the work of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He was the chosen one in understanding and knowledge, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu placed him in the best of places that the body could benefit. In Gan Eden, as it says, Gan Eden, to work it and to keep it, and he gave it Gan Eden, everything that this upper worlds have in a physical aspect, that there were physical things there. But from them you could understand all that was created. Physical body, actual body, the spirit, and the soul. Malachi, and the angels, and everything that is found throughout creation in all levels. Even there, Gan Eden is the most elevated of all this lower world, because what it receives from the upper world. Mutzak means Ashinaho Yutzak Yisoidon, that there's another reason that Gan Eden is the most special place in this lower world, because from it comes a direct connection from Gan Eden, from the middle world and the upper world, and therefore you will see more of God's handiworks than other places. We know from Eretz Yisrael and Yerushalayim, which are the best places with regard to prophecy. So it's an interesting point here. He says, even if there's a Gan Eden in this world, but Eretz Yisrael and Yerushalayim are the greatest places for prophecy. According to the Rambam, only in Eretz Yisrael we find Nevuah. We find some Cotton that they can't have Nevuah in Bovel, and even though they were prophets in Bovel, they began their prophecy in Eretz Yisrael. And once they were attached to prophecy, therefore they were able to continue it. And the main place of prophecy in Eretz Yisrael is Yerushalayim, which is called the source and the Shefa HaNevuah, where the profusion of prophecy, as the Zohar says, that is where you can gain the greatest connection to the upper world. And even at Yisrael, this is the way it is, in Yerushalayim, so certainly the Beis Hamikdash, which is the seat, the throne of Hashem, that Yirmiyahu calls it Kisi HaKovod, from the page, Moroi Merishon. It's from the very beginning was established there, this place of Machon Nesher, the place of our temple. And it says in Bereshis, Yaakov Avinu says how awesome is this place. This is Beis Elikim, that Yaakov Avinu placed his whole nevuah without kavona in the greatness of the place, because of the place he received it. Therefore, Sheikhne Gan Eden see Maras Elikim, from those who live in the Gan Eden see Maras Elikim, from the things that are found there. And they comprehend all that a being could possibly comprehend, just like Moshe Rabbeinu taught at Sinai. It says, Asha'atem Moro Boho, which you showed him, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed him the Mishkan and everything that was there to understand how the upper world works. Pirkei Rebbe Eliezer, and all the Agodos, it shows the Gan Eden is mamish in this world. It's not a marshal. The Gan Eden is something that's found in this world, as the Bava Metzia says. Avu, he took him to Gan Eden, and he took from there parts of the trees. Zohar took Avu to Gan Eden, and he filled it with his garments with leaves from a tree, and they had the smell of Gan Eden, so much so they could sell them for 12,000 dinrim. And so we find many places. And Evan Ezra writes, Beis Hadas, there's a special soy, the hiddenness. Here too, it means simply as it's spoken. We'll say since Gan Eden is Mokim Ba'aretz, so what does the neshama get more in the physical world? What does he get from it? It's only in the first tzaddikim. They have nothing to do with the physical world. So you have to say that the Indian, what we find here in this world, they are just like we can comprehend that this world, this is the way I understand it. So just not necessarily what is being said. I hope I'm correct. That just as there's a concept of Abiyah, or the world came into being, there's different levels. There's the heaven, and then it goes through Abiyah, Atzilus, Brio, Yitzio, and Asiyo. Asiyo is this world. So too, Gan Eden is in the world above, actuates and makes possible the Gan Eden in this world. And since Adam Rishon had to be in this world, therefore, there is this physical place of Gan Eden in this world, but the main source of it, of its existence, is from heaven above. Now, the Ramban continues, but I'm going to choose not to continue to translate this because the person who needs a translation, such as myself, would fail, I think, in continuing it. So I'm going to stop here, and we'll continue with the next halacha.